Have you ever sat down to do something creative and it was like all you could hear up here were crickets? Like just empty space, nothing was nothing was happening for you? Well, you're not alone. My name's Lindsay and I'm going to be sharing 13 tips on how to open your creativity when you feel blocked. Whether you're a writer, a painter, you like to make music, whatever creative outlet you choose, these are tips that I use to open my creativity, and hopefully they'll be able to help you as well. So let's go. So tip number one, it's one of my personal favorites, is doodling. What I would recommend is getting a piece of paper, or what I've done before on canvases, you just doodle random patterns. Swirls, whatever your heart desires. I actually have some different ones here that I've done. So just anything. I mean, obviously this is a little bit more than just a random pattern, but when I was going through a major block in my painting, just kind of hit a wall, I started doodling, and this helped me tremendously. It was something different than I normally do, and it was able to get me back in a groove to do my paintings. So that would be one that I would absolutely try if you're feeling blocked. Tip number two, get your chores done. I know most people aren't gonna like to hear that, but you know, when you have things around your house that you know need to be done, that maybe your dishes or your laundry needs done, or you just have a mess, when you have clutter like that, it can totally make your brain feel cluttered as well. So when you are wanting to create something, but you know you have some things that really need to get done, don't put it off. Take a break from trying to create, especially if you're feeling blocked, and go get your chores done. And it kind of goes hand in hand with my next tip, which would be reorganizing your space. That's a great way to open your creativity in your bedroom. You know, maybe move the furniture around, or redecorate the art on your wall, or, you know, reorganize. Just completely move things around, so that way it's like a fresh new environment, and then it's almost like it creates that fresh new environment for your mind as well. Tip number 4, get up and dance. Move your body. This is one of my favorite ones. I love dancing. And even if you think you can't dance, and maybe you can't, who knows, like maybe you don't have any rhythm, that's okay. Put on some uplifting music, some high vibe music that makes you feel good, whatever that is for you, and move around. You don't have to be serious. If you want to be serious, great, do that, you know, get down. But if you just want to be silly, it's the whole point of moving your body. When you move your body, it is a great way to unblock your creativity, because especially if you're telling yourself you can't dance, that's you blocking yourself right there. So when you get up and you let yourself move freely without any judgment, you're opening your mind up. You're opening your heart and your mind up. So that is one of the ones that I would absolutely say to do. And I don't know, I think I've met like one person in my lifetime that said they didn't like music, which was so wild to me. I was just like, what? You don't like music? I mean, hey, to each their own. I could not live without music, and most of the time when I'm painting, I have music blaring, and I'm like dancing around while I'm painting. So get up, move your body, be silly, have fun. But yeah, get up and move your body. You won't regret it. And who knows, maybe you'll realize you're a better dancer than you thought. You never know. So I kind of already did tip number 5, which is to listen to uplifting music. When you put on music that makes you feel good, even if you're not dancing, but maybe the lyrics are nice, and maybe there's no lyrics at all, it's just instrumental, but it has like a more positive vibe to it, it can't help but make you feel better. That's why it's high vibe music, you know? So I have a whole playlist on my phone that, especially like sometimes, because I'm human and we all wake up in funky moods sometimes, and I have a whole playlist on my phone designated for positive vibes. If I'm feeling funky, or maybe a little grumpy or something, I will put that playlist on, and I'm telling you what, couple songs in and my mood has totally shifted. So try it. You never know. It works for me. Maybe it'll work for you too. Tip number 6 is to seek inspiration from other artists. You know, sometimes when you're feeling creatively blocked, it's a good thing to, you know, look to other artists. Maybe you're a writer and you want to read another book that is kind of similar to like what you like to write. So I would try that. You know, you might, don't copy the other artists, but take inspiration from their work. I've done that plenty of times when I was feeling blocked. I went and looked at some of my other favorite fluid artists that I follow, and maybe I got inspiration from a technique they were trying, and it was one that I had never tried. So I decided to try it, and I fell in love, and then it branched out into different avenues for me. But or maybe you see colors that you don't normally do, and you want to try those. And that's what I would say is absolutely look to other artists. Message other artists. You know, if there's somebody that you really enjoy that you follow, message them, ask them for some pointers too. Maybe they have some tips that I don't have, and they can help you out when you're feeling blocked as well. Tip number 7, write your ideas down in a small notebook or on your phone. If you're a phone person, do it on your phone. I love handwriting things. I have my notes here right now. I actually have like this super cute little notebook I got from the store. It's like, I think $2. But I love this thing. Take it everywhere with me, and you can write down when you're having an idea. Because sometimes you're in a place where you are not able to just create freely. Maybe you're at work, who knows, the doctor's office. I don't know. Maybe you're just somewhere where you can't create on a whim, but you have an idea. Write it down. Put it down immediately, because later when you're feeling blocked, you can go back to your little notebook and browse through some of your ideas that you had that if you didn't write down will probably just go missing in the ether somewhere. And then 3 months later, if you're like me, the idea will come back to you, and then you're like, oh yeah, would have been nice if I wrote that down, huh? So yeah, write your ideas down as they come to you. Don't wait, or you could lose them forever. Tip number 8, try a different color palette. I have been doing this more lately. I have noticed over the last several years I tend to stick with blues. I love blue, but I do a lot of stuff with blue, and there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, it's a color that speaks to me more. And a few months ago, I did some coasters for one of my friends for Christmas, and she loves earthy tones, like brown and deep reds and orange and yellow and stuff, which I love all those colors too, but they're not ones that I typically work with. So since she loves them so much, I did work with them, and I actually really liked some of the stuff that I made, and it kind of made me want to play around with those colors more. So you never know if you're feeling blocked, and get out of your normal routine. Try something different. Try different colors. Maybe you're in a darker phase of your life or something, and you've been doing a lot of blacks and deep colors. Try some lighter tones. Try some white and yellows, and maybe you should try the blues. Maybe I should lay off the blues and you should try the blues. I mean, obviously I'm joking, but like I said, try a different color palette. Do something that is not typically part of your routine or what you would normally do. Sometimes when you try something different, you never know, it could open a door to an avenue that you wouldn't have even imagined. So yes, different color palettes. Tip 9. This one, I'm a Christian, so I say pray, but if you aren't big on praying, then meditate. But 10 minutes of silence. So I like to have that time to myself, especially, honestly, more than just when I'm feeling creatively blocked, but that's what we're talking about today. So when I'm feeling creatively blocked, I will get myself in some just straight up silence, no distractions, nothing, no music, nothing. And I talk to God, and I ask for help. I have specific things I like to say, but if you, like I said, if you're not much into praying, 10 minutes in silence and meditate. And I know you think like maybe you have this idea of meditating that when you sit down, it's just like, ah, and it's just the clearest mind. And no, that's not what happens usually. I mean, if you've been doing meditating for years, then yes, maybe you're to that point. But most of us, when we sit down to meditate or whatever, it is not just silence. It is, most of us are overthinkers, and we have so many things running through our brain all the time, all day, and distractions left and right. When you sit down in that silence, all those things running around, you never know. One of them might catch your attention. But when you never have any time for silence without distractions, like you're just constantly, oh my gosh, I know I feel like this. Like sometimes during my day when I go to work and then I have to do things, maybe some work on my phone, and it's just like, by the end of all of that, when I actually take that time to be in silence, I'm just like, I'm sure some of you know what I'm feeling too. It's just like, holy crap. Like, I don't know how I never used to have this time with myself and God, in silence, but it helps me tremendously. So seriously, try it. Get yourself a little yoga mat if you already have one, or not, whatever. Put a pillow down on the floor, sit on the floor, and just woosah. If you are of the faith and you want to pray, I ask for help. I ask God for help to open my creativity, maybe inspire me with some ideas. And by the time my 10 minutes is up, I almost always have something, and maybe it's just a doodle, or maybe it's that right now isn't the right time to create. This isn't one of my tips. Oh, it is. It's actually the next tip. So tip 9, don't force it. Okay. Do not try to force it. I know sometimes it's like you feel almost like this pressure to create, and which, I mean, obviously I think is fantastic to be creating, but when you are just exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically, all of the things, and you're trying to force something creative, like it just doesn't work. It might be literally your body just telling you that you need rest. Your mind needs rest. Your body needs rest. And I know we're in a society now that tells us that resting is lazy, that you should always be producing or achieving or go, go, go all the time. And, the older I'm getting, I disagree with that. And you don't have to agree with me. That's just my point of view. I do not think that we should be go, go, going all the time. I think that you're out of balance if you're in that state. And so for me, I like to be a little more like free flowing. I definitely have my structured routine that I do. But I'm telling you, like when my body's telling me, girl, you're tired. Like I listen and I rest. And when I was younger, I had the hardest time just sitting there and resting, because I had those little voices in my head being like, you're being lazy. You should be doing something. What about those dishes that need to be done? What about that other thing that you said you were going to do and you still haven't done it? And so then I would force myself to get up and do these things. And then guess what? Then I'm even more tired. And then usually what happens is I would end up getting sick because I ignored my body's signs telling me that I needed to rest. And I tried to push through it. And then my body was like, well, now you're sick, so you will rest. And it is what it is. So yes, do not force it. Take a break. Go for a walk. Get out in nature. Oh my goodness. That's not one of my tips. I can't believe I didn't put that on here. That is a great way to open your creativity. If you have access to it, get out in nature. Go sit by a tree. Maybe make yourself a little picnic. I am blessed. Thankfully, I have a huge lake that I live by, so I can go sit by the water, and I love water. It's probably why I use blue so much in all of my paintings, but water is so soothing to me. So to just go be able to sit down next to a body of water is like, it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful. And I think too, like when you are out in nature, you can look around and you can see all these little things that are just creative. That, you know, for me, I believe God created it. So I'm out in nature and I'm like, wow, you know, just how magical, you know, it is when the waves come up and hit the shore, or the birds flying around, and, or, you know, maybe you see like a little, I'm in the desert, so I'll see like a little lizard or something. And I'm just, you know, if you're going to go sit out in nature, get off your phone. You should take the time when you're in nature to actually appreciate the nature. When you're on your phone, you're being distracted and you are not able to appreciate the beauty that is around you. So yes, go spend some time out in nature, take a walk around your neighborhood, 5-10 minutes, whatever, you know, sometimes even just that little bit can help open your creativity back up. Okay, tip 11, make messy art. So I am a fluid artist, and obviously my art form tends to be a little bit messier anyways, but there's sometimes where I'm just feeling totally like tapped, and I feel like I want to create something, but I don't know where to go. And so I will literally just like experiment. I'll slap some paints in a cup and just throw them on the canvas. And the whole purpose of making the messy art is to not judge it. You're just making something. If it comes out like crap, fine. That's okay. It's not a big deal. The goal is to just make something to get you hopefully through that little block. And if you're going to make messy art and then you're going to be upset that it doesn't look like the most beautiful thing ever, then do not do this. Don't do this tip. Only do this if you know that you're going to be fine with whatever the result is. Because that, like I said, if you're going to judge yourself and be harsh on yourself, you're not serving yourself at all. You're honestly hurting yourself more. So yeah, be kind to yourself. Tip 12, identify any limiting beliefs that you might have. I know I didn't realize I was creative until I was 30 years old, which is wild to me. But yeah, I was 30 and I went my entire life. I had a running joke. Well, I mean, I said I wasn't creative. Like, I'm not creative. Oh my gosh, I said it so much. It's wild. And then I had this little running joke that I can't even draw a stick figure. I don't know if you want to refer back to the doodles I just showed you, but those are much better than a stick figure in my opinion. And the fact that I was going around for years saying that I wasn't creative and that I couldn't draw or anything is just, that was a major limiting belief that was holding me back. And if you're telling yourself this also, stop. Notice that. Notice any other things that you might be saying. Anything that's hindering you from creating, I'm not good enough. I'm not, if you're comparing yourself to other artists, I'm not as good as they are. I could never be that good. You've got to stop doing that, because like you are not helping yourself at all. And I am a firm believer that all of us have creativity within us. We just might tap into it differently. Not everybody's going to be a painter. Not everybody's going to love writing. I met a guy one time when I first started painting, and he was talking to me. I'm not even joking. He literally said the same thing that I used to say, like, oh, I wish I was creative. I can't even draw a stick figure. It honestly almost blew my mind when he said it. And I was like, no, I used to say that, and I am creative, so stop doing that. And then I was like, just kind of talking to him, getting like, you know, a feel for what he likes. And I'm like, well, do you like woodworking? And he was like, that's wild that you say that, because I actually made all of my furniture in my house. And I'm like, well, sir, I'm like, that's creative. You're making your own furniture? That is wildly creative. But I think that he was thinking that creativity was, like I said, painting, writing, drawing, which is creativity. But so is woodworking, you know? Maybe you like to work on cars. Like, I can't do that. You know, maybe you design clothes. Like there's so many avenues of being creative. Like maybe you like to make videos. I'm not like, there's so many ways to be creative. So like I said, identify any of these limiting beliefs that you're repeating in your head because they are holding you back. And once you can start to recognize those thoughts and things you're saying and telling yourself that aren't helpful, you can address them and you can start to break out of that thought pattern. Tip 13, do a 10-minute free writing session. Like I said earlier, a lot of us, me included, tend to be overthinkers, always have so many things running around in our mind, like, oh, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do that. And, ooh, what about this? And, oh, I never talked to them about, you know what I mean. There's always just like a little freaking hamster running a wheel in your head. Maybe you're not like that, but I am. Or, I mean, I'm not as much anymore, but I used to be. Do a 10-minute free writing session. Grab some paper. Write down all that crap in your head. I'm serious. Like, write down everything. If you want to write longer than 10 minutes, do that. If you want to write a little bit less than 10 minutes, I would say do 10 minutes, but the whole purpose is to get all of that out of here and onto here. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to use some of these tips I've given you today to help you when you're feeling blocked creatively. Another thing you can do is click the link down below because I do have a free creative healing starter pack for you that I made. It is 5 coloring pages and 5 journaling prompts. They go hand in hand. And yeah, coloring is a great way, you know, you feel like a little kid again when you're doing it. I love coloring and it will help open up your creativity. And like I said, it's free, so why not? Click the link down below and grab that pack. And I will see you guys in my next video. Much love.